Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim Hoey. Oh, you have another great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. And wow, this is an exciting time in Boston. For the first time since 2010, 12 years, the Boston Garden and the Boston Celtics will host a finals game. Game 3, boys. We split in San Francisco. You've got to be happy. Oh, first of all, Timmy, didn't you say the Celtics were going to lose both games?
I said they were going to win both games.
Win both games. You said split, Joe, right?
I said split, yeah.
I said split. So it looks like Timmy should be wearing the Jimmy G shirt.
Oh, is that what that was for?
Yeah, that's what it was for. So
is it a double XL? Is it a double XL?
Pretend it's Mac Jones, number 10. You know.
Will it highlight my man boobs if it's a medium? You know what I mean? I might have to wear my man's ear.
Well, you do have cute nipples, Timmy.
That's what I've been told. You're not the first one to tell me, Scott.
Well, Todd's going to be coming over driving with his personal driver, this Bentley. With the
15
donut.
billion. 15.
No, when he's gone to 10, then we'll start later. All right, so
the Broncos sold for 4.85 to the Waltons.
Oh, we'll see. There you go.
A family we've heard of. The Waltons. They own Walton.
John Boy's done well for himself. They're not sleeping on the wood anymore.
I guess they didn't want to move to New York.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Little inside stuff here.
We got to get to the show. Look, if you listen to the media, you would think that Golden State won both games. We won the first game. We were like a great racehorse in the first game. We just took off at the end and crushed them. That's still a victory. Game 2, that was just the referees set.
And you know where the media will be if the Celtics win tonight?
Oh my God.
They're the team.
They'll be coronating them.
They flip-flop. Every win-loss, they switch over completely.
They always want to be on the side that's right.
Yeah. What good is predictions like Stephen A. Smith when he changes them after every game?
Every game. And I love Stephen A. Smith. I think he's the most entertaining guy on in that medium. Right now, I love his passion for everything. But these guys just flip like you flip an egg. They flip.
Look, Celtics
crew. The TNT crew was doing this, and the ESPN
crew is terrible. The Celtics proved in Game 1 that they can beat the Golden State Warriors, but also they can run off. And it's a game of runs. They can run off 22-2, and it's just going to be about whether the Celtics can stay focused enough not to turn the ball over and can properly rebound so there's not a ton of offensive rebounds. They do that, game Celtics.
That was as bad an offensive performance as I have seen from them all year, or at least since January anyways.
Yeah, they got to do something about Marcus Smart. I mean, they can't hide him anymore. He just does nothing on offense. Nothing. He comes up with the ball. And then he disappears. He just doesn't take part. As soon as they get across half court, he doesn't take part in the game.
Well, I have faith in Ime that he's figuring things out here. I think he knows how to get through to these guys, showed them some film, called them on the carpet. I have faith.
Draymond Green is a punk. You know, I love Steve Kerr. You know, he's a great guy, and the whole talk about the gun control and stuff. I thought that was very powerful. But if you remember a game this year or last year when Marcus Smart, he thought that Marcus Smart tried to hurt Curry, and he was yelling at Smart during the game. But then he sends out Draymond Green like an enforcer in hockey, and that guy he's punking everybody.
See, I don't like Steve.
The worst part was he bragged about how the refs weren't calling it on him, that he was getting special consideration. He was acting like a fullback for Curry. He was going down and blocking 2 and 3 guys.
I was a fan of Kerr's when he was hitting 3-pointers for the Bulls. I think he's just a whining baby as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
I'm tired of him just whining and complaining. You know, I want things my way. He's spoiled.
But that was bad for basketball. Game 2, what Green was doing. He was doing anything he wanted, and the referees were complicit.
Oh yeah, and he said after the game they were letting me do whatever I want. I was getting special.
Yeah, how about the one they called on? How about the one they called on Grant Williams, where he's basically assaulted and he got a foul?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have loved to have heard Johnny Most call that. Imagine Johnny Most calling that play.
Oh.
He would have been dead right now.
I was telling my kids the one thing in life they really missed was Johnny Most. Listening to Johnny Most call us.
Oh my God, he would have had a special hell for Draymond Green. How much?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my Filthy God. And McNasty were just scratching the surface of what he'd be calling him.
No one
can match. Before the series started, I told you that the refs would, of course, play a huge role like they always do, and that we'd be pissed off at least 2 or 3 games on the refs. This was the refs making sure that this series goes long. They were letting the referee was making calls from the other side of the court against the Celtics. That was a joke.
There are things going on behind the scenes here for sure. There's a lot of money at stake. There's a lot of money at stake here that this thing goes out to.
TV wants 7 games to show whenever they can. They don't want a short series. They never want it. And but the Celtics reps are on tonight, so I kind of like that.
You look at this,
company. I think they're like 15 and 2 now because they won the other night when Scott Foster is the lead official.
Yeah, so we have the guy we want tonight, right?
Yeah. Right now we do. We're on a series 1-1 with Scott Foster. You don't want to be ahead in the series late in the series with Scott Foster because he's going to level things off. And he's a criminal. He should be in jail. He was part of that whole Tim Donaghy fiasco.
He had over 300 texts between him and Donaghy that Donaghy got bagged.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they were just passing the time of day talking the weather.
Yeah, and if they wanted to fire him, Scott Foster just reminds him of what he knows. But I thought Tatum played really well on the time he played game 2. I thought Jaylen Brown obviously started out at hell's bells, but then Draymond Green got into his head.
It was a game of 2 halves, that things just fell apart for the Celtics in this.
Yeah, and they called a bunch of quick fouls on when they saw Brown was doing well. They called 3 quick fouls on him, including one phantom one there on.
Oh my goodness! I mean, he didn't even touch him. Didn't even touch him.
Yeah, I felt that he should have.
Gary Payton Jr. there, what an actor.
Yeah, the Gary Payton story is very interesting. He got cut. And he was, and I'm not even joking, this year, and he was applying to be the video coordinator for the team.
Yeah. Wow.
And all of a sudden, something happened, and the next thing you know, he's playing again on the team. But he was just looking for a regular job with them.
They signed him right out of the G League.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how like the press is bringing him up like he's a big factor in this series. I mean,
well, he's a defensive guy, and obviously, look. He's 6 fouls.
If they call the fouls for Golden State like they did in game 2, Gary Payton to do whatever he wants. Otherwise, he's really a G League player.
Yeah, and you're going to let him shoot. You're not going to play defense on him. I thought that, we really haven't figured out that Looney yet. He's gotten a lot of easy baskets in both games.
Yeah.
He just hangs around and everyone forgets he's there.
Yeah. I think they have to, who takes him? Is it going to be
Rob, Al?
Or Al? Al played when Al doesn't shoot, Celtics don't do well.
No.
And then I don't know how
they got to involve him in the offense.
How does he just disappear? How can it be such a giant factor in some games and just be absent in other games?
Because they just forget about him as far as offensively. They don't pass the ball.
I mean, we all know if this Celtics plays its game, they're pretty tough to beat. If they play the game the way we've seen them play it, they're tough to beat. They're
for Al's size, I like Al on the 3-point line, to be honest with you, or even the mid-range jumper. When he has his back to the basket, I think he's the least effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just got to keep moving the ball. I thought the ball got stagnant in the second half. They stopped playing their game. They just had to keep moving the ball. Drive, kick it out, pass it around. Drive, kick it out, pass it around.
This is for Timmy. Timmy, this was a Bruins game in game 2. We needed some guy off the bench to give shit to Draymond Green to protect our stars. And we had
Where's Hank Finkel when you need him?
No, but shouldn't Tice be that kind of guy?
Musketoff.
Tice absolutely should be that guy.
I mean,
actually, Grant Williams, with the body he has, could be that guy.
Right, but they didn't want to lose Grant Williams. You needed to get into some kind of tussle with him.
I mean, if you had to pick someone to win a fight out there, who would you pick from the Celtics?
Well, it's Grant Williams, right?
Grant Williams, yeah, he's built like a freaking NFL player.
And Marcus Smart, first of all, we will lose every game that Marcus Smart shoots a key shot 3 minutes or closer to the end of the game.
He hit two big ones, 2 or 3 big ones in the first game.
No, the game was over like that. And
it wasn't over, Scott. It was a 10-point lead, which could have evaporated in a millisecond.
I know, but it was a terrible shot to me. He shot with one of them with 14 seconds on the clock, and I was screaming. He made that, and then another one at 12. He's a numbskull. Would you agree?
Well, no, he's not a numbskull.
No, he isn't a smart player. You can't say that. You can't say he's a smart player. But he's the dumbest guy on the team.
But he's also capable of being the star of tonight's game. We've seen him win games. We have seen him carry this team on his back and win games defensively, taking charges. I am not so quick as other people, unnamed people present right now will be, for throwing Marcus Smart under the bus.
No, I'm not throwing him under the bus.
Oh, you are.
His performance has been so inconsistent.
It is. I mean, they've been inconsistent. The Celtics team.
On the season, he was steady as a rock. Now you don't know what you're getting from night to night all of a sudden.
If you really look at this series, we've been inconsistent the whole playoffs. I mean, we know what they're capable of. This was what was so frustrating the first half of the year, right? I mean, you didn't know which Celtics team you're getting quarter to quarter, and then they showed some consistency through the year. They learned how to hold on to leads. And we've seen traces of that first half of the team throughout the playoffs, where they disappear sometimes.
What the hell's up with the third quarter? I mean, we talk about pitchers who can't get out of the first inning, and they always try to do things they warm up, they don't warm up. What happens is Ime not making the proper adjustments at halftime, and that these guys are confused or something. But we're having horrendous third quarters. It's something that's standing out.
Well, isn't it something that Golden State has always prided themselves on being a great third quarter team, haven't they? They call them Golden State third quarters, and they make it a point of emphasis to come out and dominate in that quarter. And you have to be aware. I mean, the Celtics can't, ignore that. You have to be up for the challenge. It's a challenge, and you have to be up for it.
Yeah. What can they change, Timmy, tonight to come out in the third quarter? They're at home. The Celtics crowd, like any crowd, they get down a little 12, 14 points. The Celtics crowd at times can sit on their hands.
Sometimes, not always, though, because this team, with this 3-point shot, is a 15-point lead safe? I'm not really afraid of a 15-point deficit, to tell you the truth.
No, we were down by
until about 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left in the game, I start to get a little nervous. But this, they had one bad loss. I'm not going to panic.
Oh no, I don't think it's. Look, we have the home court advantage.
You know what it comes out of? Whose shots are going in? Tatum sometimes is unconscious. They're just going in. Brown's unconscious. Smart can be unconscious. Grant Williams, Horford. The shots have to go in. The shots have to drop.
But this was a little different where we were turning the ball over, Joe.
Yeah.
Unforced turnovers. Right? I mean, it became a
debacle. I mean, the second half. It was horrendous.
Yeah, they were just throwing the ball away a lot. offense wasn't working the way it was supposed to. People weren't in the right places. No one was cutting to the basket. I mean, a lot of good things happen when you keep moving without the ball. You know, if they could pass it to you if you're open as you're moving. You'll be under the basket. You'll be in position for an offensive rebound. Lots of good things happen. They keep moving. When they go and they stand around, that's when it's no good.
So can the Celtics crowd get into Draymond's head tonight? I mean, you can only imagine.
No, you can't get into his head. Only the refs can get into his head.
I don't know. Boston's got a nice. I don't know. We have a talent for a unique chance at these games. I wonder what it's going to be tonight. You know,
guys like Dre love the crowd to be the villain to the crowd.
What were they chanting in Golden State? I heard some chant there. I couldn't make out what they were saying.
That's like a Miami Heat crowd.
Were they chanting Boston or something? I don't even know what they were.
I'm sure it was Boston sucks at some point. That would be right.
No, I don't even think they were throwing a suck in there. I don't know what they were saying.
So who of the Celtics has to stand out tonight that's not a Jay?
I'd say Marcus Smart has to have a good game.
Great.
He has to be the Marcus that we came to know and love the second half of the season.
Yeah, D. White's been carrying that team.
Sure has. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, Marcus has got to step up and do it because Rob Williams has got a lot of sissy in him. No one's getting him to man up.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to happen. So Marcus has to be the guy that stands up in this.
I wonder if Marcus's ankle is injured.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Oh, sure it is.
We've all turned an ankle like that, right? And you limp for a month on that thing, and every time you step on a pebble, it hurts again, just like you did at that moment, you know. So, but that might be a factor here.
And he can't shoot it up like say a football lineman can, because you need to be able to cut on that one.
Yeah. I need Pritchard to come through tonight. I need Pritchard.
Oh, he was terrible last game.
I need him to get 12 to 14 points. I think we talk about 2 years ago and what the Celtics were missing in that Miami series in Eastern Conference Finals was a shooter. Pritchard has been that to some level in this playoffs. Wouldn't you agree? That guy off the bench had instant offense. Like Timmy said, we didn't get that game too. We don't win this series unless we get it the rest of the series from Pritchard.
Yeah, he has to hit his shots. That's his job. That's why he exists. He's not out there for his defense. He's out there to hit open 3-point shots.
Yeah, they bring a lot of bench players in. You know, they have a big rotation, 9, 10, even 11 guys. And we got to match some bench strength, you know, with him. You know, like when Iguodala's in or something, get Pritchard in there. He can play defense. You know, he's been learning from Marcus a little bit. And just start feeding him the ball and letting him shoot.
Is this moment too big for Udoka?
No. This guy was built for this stuff.
You think?
Yeah. I don't think he's able to be rattled. I think this guy's been through the battles. I think he's solid as a rock.
You know, why do you let Curry have any open threes?
Well, remember, Draymond Green was actually blocking people. He wasn't screens and picks. He was pushing people down, and then Curry's got an open three. Simple as that.
You can't let that guy. You got to put a hand in his face. You got to force him off the 3-point line and bring him in, because I have no fear when he's within the.
Well, they call the fouls that on Draymond that they're supposed to call. Curry will have a hand in his face all the time after the first quarter.
I think that's one of the keys defensively. You can't let that guy go off. Klay Thompson doesn't look like he's the same player that he used to.
No, he's not.
He's too busy playing defense. He's been playing great defense on Tatum.
Yeah.
He's been shutting Tatum out.
Yeah. And I'm not afraid of the Jordan Pooles. Are you afraid of the Otto Porters?
No.
I'm not afraid of.
But I mean, like anybody's capable of getting hot, though. You know, anybody.
They've got a very deep bench. They keep bringing these guys.
All right. Well, let's get a prediction for tonight. We'll go game 3. Uncle Joe.
Boston Celtics, 104-79. to 92.
Oh, kind of low scoring. Wow. Oh, see a nice low 12-point victory. Timmy.
108-96 Celtics.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's a close game. I think it goes down to the end. I think the Celtics win by 1 point, 108-107, with Jason Tatum hitting a winning shot at the end. We really haven't. Have we had? When's the last time we had a close game in the playoffs? Like to the end?
Game 7 of the Heat game.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
we one missed 3-point away from watching.
That was so
watching this from a golf course. You know what I
mean? That would have tied the. Oh no, we would have taken
put it to overtime. They had momentum.
No, that would have put them ahead by 1 if they had.
Yeah, that's what I said. But I never felt. It was bizarre. It was like a
Scotty.
blur.
I thought that shot was going in.
No, I know, but it was such a blur. I was in shock by the time.
I felt exactly emotionally like I did in that Milwaukee game that we lost at the end. I felt the same emotions. I was like a shock victim after that game. Even though we had won, I felt traumatized. I felt like I'd been in a car accident.
I know. It was a crazy game because I thought it was over, and I'm waiting for the scrubs to come in. Next thing you know, Butler, like in 2 seconds, is heaving up a shot to put them in the lead.
It reminded me of when the Bruins lost to Chicago in Game 7. I was at that game.
Yeah,
we were up by a goal or two, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 and the horn blows, and Chicago's walking out the Stanley Cup.
I know. Yeah, they were up by a goal. Krejci doesn't clear the puck.
Yeah.
They tie it up, and then they score like 30 seconds later, and then the game's over.
Like a minute and a half left, and tick, 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 tick. The clock never moved so fast in my life, and it was over. It went from ecstasy to agony. It matters. I mean, so that's twice. They did it in the Bucks game. They almost did it in the Heat game. I mean, this team can break your heart. I mean, they can disappoint you, but they're a good team. They have the pieces. Now, I'm predicting them to win, but this is how you build great teams like the Detroit. Like you remember in the 80s, the 70s and 80s, and there was always a team that was getting knocked out in the semis, and then they went a little further. First the Celtics, and then the Sixers and Detroit, and then Chicago. It was almost like your time to arrive, but you had to go through the wars to get there.
This is our 4th Eastern Conference final in 6 years. Timmy's point is well done. This is our time. You have to break through this year. At some point, you're phonies, you're fakers, and you go back to the pack. How important is this game to the rest of the series? I would say that Celtics win tonight, they will win the series. They lose, they will not.
Well, it's always best to win the odd numbered games. They won Game 1. Hopefully, they win Game 3. And win Game 5. You win the odd numbered games, you win.
Scotty, you're saying if we lose tonight, that's the series.
I think it is. I think that, and the Celtics have not played well the whole season at home as well.
No,
they're really road warriors.
They've been a road warriors for sure. It's like home court means nothing really to this team the way they play. They actually probably play better on the road. Is their record better on the road?
Guys,
I
don't want to get off the Celtics, but Celtics weren't a great home team. The Red Sox are a terrible team at Fenway. The Patriots were a terrible team at Gillette Stadium. I don't know what the Bruins record was at home, but what's happened? Are we a curse when we at home? Are we not doing our job as fans? Tell me.
I don't know. That place is rocking when I'm there. I'll tell you that.
Maybe they just don't like home cooking. That's it. They'd rather eat out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, in a lot of ways.
maybe the girlfriends aren't going on the road with them and the wives. You know what I mean? They have their legs underneath them.
The girlfriends, yeah, right.
Provided for them in San Francisco when they arrive.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're having their legs taken out at home.
Well, look, yeah, Timmy, like you said, the Celtics crowd's going to be crazy tonight, and especially at those prices. I saw StubHub for the 300 section, like 800 plus a seat. You got to be crazy.
Yeah. So my boys are going in tonight. I'm letting them take mine.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I'm going for Father of the Year tonight.
Oh my God!
I wonder what mine are.
You get to go on Father's Day then.
Is that what it is?
No,
Let's see
they
what,
don't play on Father's Day. They're away on Father's Day because they play Friday and Sunday, right? Yeah.
let's check Higgs tickets and see what my tickets would be going for right now.
I would imagine over 1,000 each, right? You got to be if section 300, and I'm not paying $1,600 to $1,800 for any to sit in section 300. Are you kidding me?
In San Fran, I bet they're not that much money though. You know, they've been there for the last half dozen years, and
yeah, Golden State, yeah, but Celtics, look, I completely.
they switched.
Wait. Loge.
Remember, they were Oakland.
Yeah, right. I went to the old stadium with the boys. We had a great time.
I'm looking at Loge 15 here, $2,750
each
per ticket.
Oh.
Balcony, 1,200.
Wow.
I see a Loge 6 here for 1,700.
That's those prices have risen. Wow. People are psyched about tonight. That's great. It's
the hedge funds, the law firms. That's peanuts for them to send a person giving them $50 million in business a year. That's peanuts.
Yeah,
that's like half the dinner tab at Capitol Grill half the time.
No, you're right. And Nelly, whoever Nelly is, he'll be performing at halftime. Do you know him?
Yes.
So it's not going to be Lucky in the jumping crew, or
they are so bad.
The woman who rides the unicycle spinning the plates.
That lady's talented. Her. She's awesome.
She's talented.
Yeah. She's Lucky. I'm just rooting for Lucky.
I'm waiting for someone to hit their lip on the rim. Lucky and his flying crew there.
I know. We're all rooting against them. We're evil to the core. I swear it. All right, before we go to the Red Sox, we're going to go to the Bruins because it's a travesty that Bruce Cassidy, who was fired 2 days ago and did not take it well. No, I didn't take it well because the guy who fired him, Don Sweeney, should have been out the door.
I absolutely agree, Scott.
Yeah. They did him a favor, I think. You stop and think about it. If Bergeron retires, Marchand and McAvoy aren't playing next year until.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And Marchand might never come back, having operations on both hips.
Yeah.
That we all know that a hip operation is usually the kiss of death, and he's having two of them.
Imagine the pain. Imagine the pain he was playing in.
Oh, those kids are they're so.
And I've been talking about. Pasternak didn't like Cassidy, but they're talking about Pasternak might not want to join in on a rebuild either. So I think they might have done Cassidy a favor. Cassidy will get a job in the next week or two.
No question.
Be with a contender rather than have to go through a rebuild.
Now, from what
it's going to take.
I don't know if I digested this correctly. Cassidy leaving, they were saying might help the chance of Bergeron coming back. Were they not in cahoots with each other?
No, it was more about Pasternak. And Bergeron put threw some cold water on that and said, "I never asked to have that Cassidy fired." So that's.
So I think they need a clean sweep, all of them. Cassidy's a great coach, but sometimes you wear out your welcome.
Yeah, you've been there 6 years, right?
Yeah, he won't play. He won't play the kids, and you're going to have to play the kids.
But is Jacobs becoming the Jacobs of old? The tight purse strings. I mean,
the old man's got to be. He's got to be 1,000.
He gave the team to the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, are they following in the father's footsteps and not spending? You know what I mean? They want everybody on the cheap. They don't want to go out and pay the stars.
The kid that seems to run it, Charlie. There's like 6 kids that are like presidents of the Bruins, but Charlie seems to take an interest in it day to day, and he seems to be a fan and wants to spend the money.
Well, yeah, look,
we'll see this year.
I don't know
who's out there for free. I don't know who's out there for free agents, but we need some changes.
They're going to rebuild. They're tearing it down. If you're going to be missing all these stars, wait for him to come back and rebuild in the meantime, and they're going to play all the kids that Cassidy wouldn't play.
Yeah, well, look, Don Sweeney, when he used the word rebuild, that means they're rebuilding. Because
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that he wouldn't.
He never said that word, but that's what they're going to do.
No, he did say the word. He said it may be a rebuild, which of course it is. I mean, that we don't like that in this town, especially Timmy doesn't. But that's the way it is.
Not if you're paying top dollar for a ticket.
Who on that team is old? Bergeron's old, right?
Marchand.
Marchand's not really that old,
but he's got wear and tear on him.
Yeah,
but he's still a great player. He was.
Well, but like Joe said, the hip surgery.
Double hip, both hips. And Grizzlick, and it's Grizzlick too. Grizzlick and McAvoy both have the shoulders. I know McAvoy's out at least 6 months.
Yeah.
Grizzlick might be the same too.
I mean, I love the fact Grizzlick's a Boston kid, but I think we could do better.
Oh, he's a fine third pairing, or maybe even a second pairing guy. But you can't be partnering him with McAvoy. Then McAvoy's got to play both defensive positions,
So, what kind of coach do you get? A young version of Bruce Cassidy?
Timmy, you might know. What do you think of Jay Leach? That's the name I keep hearing.
I'm not really up on him, Joe.
Wasn't he assistant coach for the Bruins?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
And of course, all the fans want Trotz.
Oh my God, yeah.
The fans always want the blood and guts screamer.
But he's not coming here.
I give Sweeney one more. He's gone.
What's that?
I think Sweeney has 1 year life expectancy. I think he's gone, unless he's got pictures of somebody.
Yeah,
I mean, he has screwed so many drafts up. I mean, they had the 3 picks there that they screwed up on. The year they had the 13th, 14th, and 15th. I think they tried to trade all 3 of them to get Noah Hannafin, and they said no. I mean, that was you should have got 3 solid hockey players there, and they whiffed.
Look, and they don't even have a first round pick this year because they got Hampus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Well, we all wanted him to get Jack Eichel last year, and he was smart to stay away from him.
Well, they say I hear he's like one of the biggest jerks in the league.
Everyone hates him, and wherever he goes.
Yeah, I mean, I love
him. Hate him because he's a lousy player. He just don't play. He's lazy.
He's a talented hockey player, Joe.
He's got those contracts, and he guarantees me he won't play.
He's a good hockey.
He was, I guess.
Is that the kid who just got his ass kissed so much? What was he out of Bill Ricker, right?
Yeah. I mean, he was projected to be the number 1 pick, and then Connor McDavid knocked him out. He came out of nowhere. That kid's a hell of a player. My God.
We need players like that.
You got to finish at the bottom. You got to finish at the bottom of the league to get there.
All right. Sounds like we could do that.
It sounds like that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah,
that McDavid. I mean, this is like blasphemy to me, but he might be better than Bobby Orr. And I've never said that.
I was going to say he reminds me of Orr with those.
I have never said that. I said if you put 5 Gretzky's against 5 Bobby Orrs, the score would be, or 5 Orrs would destroy him. This kid McDavid is about 6'3" or 6'4". He's equivalent to the skater that Orr was. The kid flies his hands like I've never seen before. He is a tremendous hockey player.
He just weaves through the other 5 defenders, and then pots it right behind the goalie.
He has everything you could ever want in a hockey player.
I agree. He's worth the price of admission for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So do the Bruins blow it up? Yes or no, Timmy?
I don't know what you blow up. What do you blow up? I mean, for every guy you kick out, you got to bring a guy in. I mean,
no, but you
don't just pick these guys out of nowhere. I mean, you have to get somebody who's better than them. And I don't know if there's a bunch of guys sitting around who are better than them. No, it's different than baseball, Scotty. It's different than baseball. What do you mean? Trade Marchand, trade Pasternak? I mean,
Pasternak. It might come down to trading Pasternak if he's not going to sign.
Well,
Yeah, well, obviously.
I don't know. You have to sign him. I mean, those Pasternaks of the world are like
Yeah.
gold. You wait 10 years to get a guy like Pasternak. You bank everything to get a guy like Pasternak. You can't let Pasternak walk.
No, we need a star. They learned that from Thornton. You have to
He scores goals. I mean, and same with Marchand. Marchand's one of the best hockey players in the world.
Yeah.
Those guys just don't come along too often, you know.
Yeah, but remember, Tim, Marchand didn't score any goals like the last 3 months of the season.
Well, he's freaking playing. He's having both hips operated on.
Exactly. Now, does he come back from those hip surgeries?
Let's hope so, because he's one of the best hockey players in the world.
Wow. You know, when I see 2 hips, I say, oh, God.
I know. It depends on what the surgery is, Joe. It's, what is the surgery?
They don't let on. They don't tell you what that's.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't trade pasta because when I'm in Stop and Shop, his pasta is like 69 cents.
Scotty, the Pasternaks of the world, they just don't come along. You know what I mean? You could wait a generation to get a guy like him again on the team.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I think they build around him.
Oh, they have. You never let that guy go.
There's only a handful of them, like Pasternak, Matthews, McDavid.
Yeah, McDavid. There aren't many. Believe me.
God knows it ruins those skilled players. They don't. Then again, we had like Sagan, who's not obviously the player, but we can't keep on getting rid of every great skill player, young skill player we get in the team.
Yeah, so it's not the NHL. It's tough. It's not like baseball, Scotty. Where you have 800 guys in the farm system.
Yeah.
There's a limited pool to draw from.
And these guys, like you said, defensemen will last 15, 20 years. So if you don't get some good ones.
Yeah, so we got McAvoy. I mean, he's coming. He's going to have a major surgery. Humpus, I mean, is a solid player. We got to get – I think we have to get bigger and tougher. I keep saying that. You guys fight me on this. I think we're not a tough team anymore. And when you get into the playoffs, you got to be tough.
Yeah. Well, you got to be bigger than the other team.
Yeah.
What do they say in hockey? Heavier. You got to be heavier.
Yeah. The skill's the same. The bigger skill guy beats the smaller skill guy.
Every time.
Because when you get in the playoffs, they finish every check. We saw it against the Canes. They finished every check. And we weren't laying the same punishment on them that they were laying on us. It's a physical game. It's a game of intimidation.
All right, we go to the Red Sox, and Lucas and I went to last week's game on Tuesday against the Reds. They lost 2-1. They had one hit going into the ninth. We left. No energy, no competitive up at bats, and they haven't lost since. I can't understand this team. And if the season and the irony of all ironies, boys, it's June 8th, and the Red Sox have the perfect wild card playoff seeding already. Nothing can happen right now but bad. They are in the wild card, and they play the Twins.
Well, they've been bad since you say they haven't lost since then. They've been bad. They were terrible against Cincinnati the next day. Then what have they been? 1-0 against the Angels. They had nothing going in that game.
Joe, they've won 6 straight.
It's the competition they're playing.
Just stop. Oh my God, Joe.
Were they playing the Yankees? Were they playing the Rays?
Can I mute his voice?
Okay. Well, what is their record against the AL East? What is their record against the AL East?
Joe, come on, Joe. This is not your first rodeo. It's 162 games. Now you're going to pick and choose when they win.
No, you're picking and choosing. You got to play 19 games against each of those teams.
Okay, Joe.
And you can't lose to them all.
When did he become Mr. Negative to me?
They got to do better against.
I'm staying out of this. I'll let you two fight this one out.
Why are you Mr.
They
Negative?
even got a losing record against the Orioles.
They just won 6 straight, Joe. They're currently in the wild card, and this is with the time you pick to trash them?
What does that say about MLB that the Red Sox could even be in the
They're playing a team that's lost, 13 straight?
Come on, Joe. All right, we're not doing that. No,
Scotty, you jumping on the Red Sox?
You saw that game last night. Did you see that double? You saw that double steal that Nevin tried to pull
Joe,
off.
come on, Joe. Just stop it. It's 162 games. We're not playing. They won Timmy, will you say something positive because Mr. Negative over there.
Wait. If they had lost 3 out of those 6, you'd be bashing them right now, Scott.
I know, but they did. What do you?
Are you one of these ESPN guys that goes off what happened yesterday and you forget everything that happened before that?
Yes, he is.
You know, they are what they are. They're a terrible team, Scotty. They're horrible. I mean, Heim would like this team to go 0-162 if he had his way.
Oh my God! Are you?
They'll be the last
Scotty,
one.
I'm preaching. Scott, I'm preaching what you were saying 2 weeks ago. How could you change your tune so quickly? It's the same guys. Scotty, so you're going to change your tune because they won 6 games?
Of course they are.
Can we go pull the tape from 2 weeks ago? What you were saying? You're going to change that quick?
I just told you on Tuesday they look lifeless. But look, it's a long season. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. They've won 6 straight. Their starting pitching has, in the last 7 games, has set a record for the history of baseball for the best starting pitching in 7-game period.
So you're ready to put them on Mount Rushmore right now, then?
They are currently in the wild card spot. I live in the present.
The last wild card. And that's where they're going to finish.
You two live in dream world.
I will be shocked.
I live in the present.
Are they going to win the 5-team division?
Of course.
Are they come in second place?
Scotty, this team is currently
third place.
Do you have any hopes at all that this team, currently constituted as it is, has any chance in hell of making the playoffs this year?
Oh yeah, they're gonna.
I would say yes, absolutely. They're currently a game and a half up. Yes,
they're gonna. There's multiple wild cards now.
Apparently, they're just watering it down. They're just watering it down.
Look, I didn't get the decision making in the watering down of baseball. I'm just
okay. But Scotty, 2 weeks ago,
we're just gonna have to pay for the playoff tickets.
I've never seen anyone change their tune in 2 weeks more than you have. You sound like the guys on calling the Celtics game after they won the first game. They had them down as the greatest team in the history of basketball.
Okay,
then they lose one and they stink. Scotty, you were ready. If Heinz Bloom walked by you and you had a gun, I don't like Heinz Bloom's chances.
No, that's not true. Look, okay, so as the host of the show for 8 years, you want me to ignore that the Red Sox have won 6 straight? They've won 5 straight on the road in the West Coast, which they never do. And you want me to ignore that and just to trash them as a shitty team? Because
Frenchie took over for Dahlbeck, that just changed everything.
But what do you want me to
do? It has helped.
Obviously. I mean, the fact that Dahlbeck's even on this roster is an atrocity.
Dahlbeck is the worst major league player in our lifetime. He made an error. He can't even catch a ball like a little leaguer.
I know it was a bad play, Jim, but he's being platooned. That mitigates the damage to the team right there.
Wait, I gotta go. You guys talk about it.
So is Hine upset, Joe? Is Hine upset that we won 6 games?
I don't know. Scotty's just being a fan. Fans, we're jumping off the Tobin Bridge one night and running through the Fenway, waving flags the next.
I want Marcus Smart to have the game of his life tonight, and I want to see what Scotty says about him in 2 days.
I can't wait. It's just that I've been so disappointed in him in this, not just this series, and not just in the Miami series, but the Milwaukee series too. He was almost a non-factor.
But he had some great moments too, Joe, in that series.
Well, there was one game where he hit a bunch of threes, but of course that Scotty didn't like that because even though they won, remember he took 22 shots. The Miami game, the 7th game there that they eked out.
So we're getting away from the Red Sox a little bit, which I don't really. I can't believe because of 6 games. I mean, we know what this team is. We know what they are. They lack a bullpen.
If the Red Sox had used Whitlock as a closer and did not create this stupid experiment of making him a starter, we would be up 6 or 7 more games in the standings.
And I think he really, most pitchers would rather be starters. They get paid more. It's simple as that. But Whitlock didn't seem to be champion to be a starter. He was happy in his role there as in the bullpen.
I don't understand why they've done it. It's almost, this guy is a perfect reliever. Why would you do that?
Remember, Daniel Bard lobbied. He wanted to be a starter. And then they made him a starter, and that's what screwed him up. But usually that's pitchers want to be starters. I've never heard a word from Garrett Whitlock saying he'd like to be a starter.
It's unexplainable. I don't know if Cora or Chaim Bloom has answered that question, why Whitlock has been taken out of the closer role, which he's so good at, and cost us so many games this year, the lack of a closer, and he's just an average starter.
So, Scott, are we still in the mindset that Chaim wants us to be terrible this year?
Yes, of course. There's no question in my mind that Chaim would like the season to be over, to not have to give up any more prospects that he cares about, and to start spring training right now. Yes.
He wants at the deadline, though. He's going to have to.
Have to.
If they're in the race, he has to.
Have to, right? He has to. Look, I don't want to get all, minutia with you, but he has a lot of potential Rule 5 picks that I assume that he'll peddle off. Guys that he could potentially lose for free. So that'll be the group that he's going to want to, as far as prospects go, to get rid of. But he's not giving up any top guys. So if you think Casas, Mayer, York, Bello, they're not leaving anyway.
But teams that are selling, they don't want those guys because they can wait. That's why they're sellers. They can wait till the next end of the season and get them on the Rule 5.
But yeah, that's who he's going to want to give up. So he's not going to get any. He's going to get everybody on the cheap, like you said.
Well, maybe you could buy some guys out. Look, the two we picked up last year, the shortstop.
Schwarber and Iglesias. And Robles.
Good pickups.
Robles, too.
Great pickups.
Both helped us.
Austin Davis, who didn't pitch that great last year when we picked him up, has been one of our best relief pitchers this year. But you got to talk about Michael Wacha. I thought that was an overpay. The moment I heard it, I'm like, this guy stinks. Michael Wacha has been one of the best pitchers in baseball.
He is the best pitcher in baseball.
One of the best, yes, absolutely. Well,
Does he lead the league? Is he the best ERA for a start?
Does he have the best ERA? He may, if not, very close to it. Wow, that just shows you that Chaim Bloom and Rich Hill has been a positive. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, except the last two games, he's been very good.
So he understands player development.
Well, we almost made it to the World Series.
Not the ash heap.
But look, Schwarber, how great Schwarber was for us last year.
I mean, they all came together when it mattered last year. I mean, till the very end.
The pot was being stirred.
That team that was on the field last year, we were all so excited to watch it start again this year, and it blew up. I mean, like Scotty, you're saying it was against his plan. I mean, isn't it your plan to win every year? I mean, I don't get it.
No,
apparently not.
No,
he would love to draft first or second every year if he could.
Oh, now, do you still hate Trevor Story, Joe? Because every time I watch him play, the guy
never hate him. I don't think he's as good as you think.
But he's your kind of guy. That's the irony of all this hate.
What I like about him is that Xander seems to like him, and Xander works well with him on the double play combination. They seem to be very simpatico. And over the years, Xander's either hot or cold on guys, and he's hot with.
Well, you liked Iglesias, that's for sure.
Oh, he loved him. He looked like a Gold Glove shortstop when he had Iglesias next to him.
But Story gives an effort. That kid, and he covers so much more ground than Pedroia ever did. Those little legs.
I say they're very similar defensively.
Oh, I'm not gonna bash Pedroia.
Why not?
When he got hurt, he was bad. When he was in his prime, he was fun to watch.
We represent.
How many unbelievable plays?
Same game almost.
How many unbelievable plays did you watch Pedroia make? I watched him make hundreds of great plays.
Yeah. What 40 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. He get hurt. People get hurt.
Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt in Scotty's world.
You'll be out on the curb with. You'll be out on the curb with the used furniture. You know what I mean?
I got more no hurt cream on me right now, and I got socks on, everything. Yep, you got to suck it up, strap it up, and you got to play. That's how this works.
It is amazing how some guys play through injuries. Look at Marshawn playing through too bad. You need freaking surgery on your hips and you're playing through. These hockey players are unbelievable.
And then you get the Jacoby, the Rob Williams, the Havanawi, and
I mean, imagine Marshawn going out there in that kind of pain. You need surgery on these hips, and you're going out there playing an NHL level game. Bergeron playing with punctured lungs and freaking, tuberculosis or whatever the hell. God knows what these guys are.
Every hit, he's getting checked against the board with his hips getting whacked against the boards.
Every stride you make.
All right, we got to leave the Red Sox, but if the Red Sox win 5 out of 7, what are you? You're a season ticket holder for like the last 150 years. What do you think? Come on.
Well, they used to care.
If they win 5 out of 7 in this next week, will you jump on the bandwagon?
Who are you talking to? Me or Joe?
Joe?
Oh, I'm always on the bandwagon. You can't kick me off. A little criticism doesn't kick me off. Yeah, but 5 out of 7 would be nice. The Angels, I want to sweep the Angels while they're still losing double digits in a row.
I'm going to be honest. I'm like totally focused on the Celtics right now. I haven't given the Sox much thought. So once the Celtics season's over, then I'll tune in on the Red Sox and I'll start making my making my opinions on what I think of this team.
Okay, so it's mini camp time for the Patriots, and it's Mac Daddy 24/7. Apparently, he basically completed every pass.
21 out of 22 yesterday.
He's stronger. He's faster. He's better looking. He's everything that we ever wanted.
Was he able to turn in his training bra? He doesn't have the man boobs anymore right here.
He still has a little bit of the. I know you think push-ups.
George Scott used to report every year is the best shape of his life. They always say this in training camp. They always say that.
Remember, he would wear like that thing that looked like a hefty bag to make him sweat.
Yeah. My father used to wear one of the sweat down at the Union in South Bend, going in the steam room.
Oh my! The boomer would pass out like by 10 o'clock.
But my prediction is Mac Jones is going to have
my greatest boomer story of all. I was standing behind him, the boomer at a payphone, and he's listening, and all of a sudden he just yells out, "Be Pacific, baby!" He butchered the English language like nobody else.
So, Mac Daddy, look, this guy could be a big star. Even Cam Newton said Mac Daddy's going to be a star in this league.
Yeah, I think this kid's got it. He's got something, Look, I mean,
it is the throws.
He's the, who wins these things? The pocket passers, right? He's a pocket passer. These running quarterbacks, they're like a flash in the pan until they blow a knee or like blow a tire, I think this kid's got something now. It's going to be up to the Patriots to put some stuff to work with around him.
I know it's tough to remember, nor do you want to remember that playoff game, but I thought Mac Daddy had some of his best throws in that game and showed his ultimate toughness in that game, taking hits and staying in the pocket, rolling out and making some plays. I thought that was a showcase of what we're going to see this year.
Yeah, the defense gave him nothing. They were starting on the 20-yard line every time. They never started on the other side of the field or anything.
If Trevor Lawrence has another poor year, could Mac come out as being the best guy from that class?
No, he won't. He's going to have a great year next year.
Yeah, I mean, he's too talented not to. But
yeah, well, he's so good. Just watching him with the losing team, you know what he is.
Well, he had a tough year last year.
Because he had that sicko for coach. I mean, Jesus, at some point, he didn't even want to play with that guy. But I agree with Joe. He just has all the tools.
Oh yeah, he could have come out as a freshman.
He's got the smarts and he's got the football savvy, to avoid.
But he threw a lot. He threw a lot of horrible picks last year. A lot of them.
Yeah, but so did Peyton Manning the first year.
Oh, I remember. I watched Peyton Manning throw 6 picks when he was new.
He was on the run when right off the snap. He was on the run on most of those pass plays.
He earned his pay last year. That's for sure.
He sure did.
Cole Strange is already being compared to Logan Mankins. That's good.
Wow. Well, that's the
I'd
guy we hope for.
rather John Hanna.
You know, could we have got him in the fourth round? That's the only question. You know?
Yeah, I think we're over that. This is the guy.
The draft people are the draft people. And NFL people would probably have taken him. You never would have gotten to the second round. So.
Look, you only have one pick every 32. If you like a guy and you want him to be on your roster, you need to get him.
You got to believe in what your opinion of players is, I guess. You know, when they stick by it. I mean, and that's favored us through the years, right? Because Belichick hasn't played the game. How many drafts have we gone through and you've said, who the hell did he just pick, you know? And then it turns out to be a guy who has a long career in the NFL.
They have intriguing guys, I would say. They have fast guys. They have some intriguing guys, and we'll see what happens.
Very athletic guys.
Yeah,
Strange was like the most athletic going back to like 1983. Keeping the stats, he was number 7 of all the guards in the history of
really.
Out. Yeah.
Look, and what drills are we talking about?
Oh, the three cone.
All that. Why was he not on anyone's radar? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, he was.
Was he on
school? He's on when you're playing in a small school. They like to see you play against the Alabamas and Ole Misses and that, because those are the guys you're going to be playing against in the NFL. They want to compare apples to apples. They don't like having to make the extrapolation of, will this guy be able to play against the next level?
So I heard this week that the Patriots would welcome with open arms Dante Hightower back into the fold. Can you believe that?
Yeah, no, because all they'll give him is like a short money, whatever they've got. They're not going to give him veteran minimum. They're not going to treat him like that. But they're not going to give him big money, and he'd have to accept it, and I don't think he would.
Yeah, Timmy, I want to stay away from him. He needs to retire.
He just lost a step, and that just gets exposed. It's just, and I love the guy too.
What happened on the roster though? Just as the guy in the locker room, and maybe in a pinch, in special situations, you throw him in.
So what do you think the minimum that he stays for is? $2 million?
Yeah, well, he wouldn't take it. I don't think.
No,
that's what they'll offer him.
Yeah, he probably want to play for about 5, right?
Yeah, and they know he's not worth 5.
They can't justify that. I mean, he's just too slow.
Yeah. Yeah, so, he'd be worth having around just as a presence in the locker room, but you can't afford the price he's going to want.
You guys,
he's smoking.
Hey, are we happy that Chase Winovich is no longer with us?
Yes. Oh my God.
They got a draft pick for him.
I love he's so happy where he is right now, and he's a strange bird, man. Some of the quotes that come out of his mouth.
No, we didn't get a draft pick. We got a linebacker.
Is that what it was?
Did we do a straight up trade for him? One guy for another?
Yeah, we got a linebacker from Michigan. And there's someone, remember from Cleveland, right?
Oh, is that where we got that Mac Wilson?
Yeah, that's the guy. That's how we got him. Yeah.
He's so happy to be in his new home, though.
Yeah, he's a stiff.
Well, that's closer to home. When he went to Michigan, now he's back.
Anyone that badmouths the Patriots when they leave, I just don't have any love for them at all.
Why he badmouthed the Patriots?
He said, in roundabout ways, he did.
Oh my God, that always that loses Timmy. Oh, that loses Timmy. You say something bad about.
Well, when you're blaming your failures on somebody else, I've had one of the great things somebody once says to me, if something goes wrong, what's your part in it? And he doesn't want to hold up his part of why he didn't succeed here.
Like that other linebacker, that Cassius, whatever his name is.
Yeah, exactly like
special teamer out in Seattle.
If you
my failures were all somebody else's fault, right?
If you go on a weekend trip out of Massachusetts, you're dead to Timmy.
Dead.
Well, New Hampshire may be all right. You're staying in New England.
I am Jamaica Plain born and bred, and you bash my city, you're dead to me. That's it. That's it. You're
Except
dead.
for Tom Brady. Tom Brady got to leave.
Tom earned my love. He earned my love.
And he didn't get any hate from him.
Well, he never badmouthed us. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, I don't think Belichick treated him the way he should have been treated, to tell you the truth.
Okay, so we have the guy we're going to love to hate on the Patriots coaching staff, and you know what his name is.
Matt
Patricia. Oh my God.
He's calling the plays.
He's the OC. Yeah.
How's this guy even have a job in the NFL right now?
Oh my God.
He did a great job when he was with the Patriots before.
He did a horrible job at Detroit.
Yeah. Well,
you couldn't do a worse job than he did.
Joe, if the defensive game plan Belichick has in the Hall of Fame, in the Hall of Shame would be Patricia's defensive play. Yeah. For the Philadelphia, the last game he ever coached for the Patriots.
The worst defensive performance in the history of football. Man.
Horrible. He let a backup quarterback who never did anything before or since.
But that guy did throw every ball perfect in that game.
Yeah, because you didn't take him off the spot, Timmy.
Especially when he scored the touchdown there on the trick play, and then Tom Brady tried to copy it and fucked it up.
It was terrible. I mean, why wouldn't you rush a guy like him? And they didn't do it. That's when those backup quarterbacks make mistakes.
Cooper Kupp just signed 5-year deal for $110 million.
Wow, that's actually cheap, right?
Over $20 million a year.
Yeah,
that's cheap.
He's
the best. He was the MVP, triple crown of everything.
Yeah,
the most yards, most catches, most everything.
So what are the top receivers getting now? What's 30. The high?
30.
30, yeah, right. Yeah,
Aaron Donald just got 30 plus, right? As the highest paid defensive player.
Rightfully so.
All right, so that's our show.
It only increased their salary cap. They changed it to $30 million a year. It only increased their salary cap $2 million.
Boys,
they put void years on the back end of it, so that the signing bonus gets prorated over 5 or 6 years, and they give it to them all at once.
Joe knows it all. Joe knows it all.
They don't care about the money. The cap is crap.
All right, boys. Well, that's our show. We have an exciting announcement. We're going to be working with Ian, our wonderful producer. We're going to be doing this show is going to be a podcast. It'll be this show you can listen to on a podcast wherever you're going, running, in the car, everywhere. So in the next couple of weeks, these shows will be up as a podcast. So that's nice. Very exciting.
Well done, Ian. Thank you.
Ian's going to do that for us, and we're going to partner up with Ian, and so we're very excited. So everybody tell their friends, their neighbors, the Grandstanders will be coming. You can't hide from us, and especially Uncle Joe, because if you have happiness in your life, you talk to Uncle Joe, and he'll bring you right down to.
He'll break down the salary cap for you, tell you the offensive and defensive line depth, right down to the last guy.
We're very excited. So I, of course, want to thank Ian. Want to thank the fellas. Please check us out on our new podcast in the next couple of weeks. My name's Scott Kerman. I'm your host. Have a great and happy night.